Okay, good morning. We are here in our Module 1, ICT in ILT, Beliefs and Policies. Well, initially, I want to discuss with you and to explore some ideas about teaching beliefs regarding the use of ICT in ELT, how it works in our national context, and why ICT in ELT, just to give you some highlights on how to connect technology and ICT. Initially, I want you to think about what is a belief, what are your beliefs, and how do they influence your learning and your teaching. According to the dictionary, a belief is an acceptance that something exists or is true, especially without any proof. So sometimes when we say that it exists extraterrestrial life, that is a belief. Sometimes when we might say that students don't speak English in the class, that might be a belief at a certain moment. Or it is trust, faith, or confidence in something, someone, or something. A belief in democratic politics. So there is, taken from Wikipedia, there is like a border between truth, belief, and knowledge. So these are like three different concepts, but anyway, at a certain moment, everything starts from a belief. If we explore our beliefs as teachers regarding the concept of ICT in ELT, so we might consider that there are some strict extrinsic barriers. For example, we might say that students don't have computers, students are poor, students have never used computers, etc. But my beliefs can also become guiding principles that actually guide the way that I teach in my classrooms. Beliefs might be related to my teacher's skills. If I am good at technology, I can say that technology actually helps learning. If I am technophobic, so probably I say that technology is not necessary. Teacher's conception of teaching and learning, plus personal insights and beliefs. The way that you see your teaching and the way that you see your learning might influence the way that you teach. So that's why we can say that personal insights and beliefs actually affect teaching and learning. The learner's skills can be my belief. I can say that students from public schools are different to the ones from private schools, something like that. Purpose to use ICT in EFL. Depending on my belief, I can say that it is a tool, it is a means, it is a good resource, or it is nothing in the EFL classroom. Me as a user, but not as a facilitator. So probably I think that I can use technology, it's very useful, but I don't think that it actually helps my students. That is a tool in the class that it's difficult to use it in our classes and I cannot face those problematic situations. I might have some positive or negative preconceptions regarding the use of ICTs in my classroom. In my school, nothing works, no internet, computers never work, the software that is there is not updated, these kind of things. What are your beliefs? Well, this is an invitation for you to think about what are your beliefs regarding the use of ICT in your language classrooms. My personal opinion is that teachers need to give a technology a chance in their classrooms. Sometimes we say, definitely no, technology doesn't help. We need to give it a chance. The teachers must be aware of the supportive role of ICT and EFL. I love this expression, supportive role, instead of saying that it's a resource, instead of saying that it's an additional tool. It's a supportive role, and it plays a supportive role. Teachers must face the digital age and accept the challenge. So nowadays, we cannot do anything without technology, and our students need to be trained, and we need to facilitate the process. Teachers must be willing to explore and choose the ICT tools that are relevant for learners according to their context. Hey, what works in the public school in the south of Bogota might not work in the public school in the north side of Bogota, or in one or the other city. So we have to explore our context to make sure which tools are the best one. It is important to use ICT tools in order to make teaching more appealing to young learners. Definitely our young learners are becoming tired of the way that we are actually teaching. Even you are tired. Okay, what else can you see? Depending on your surveys and what you have done with your colleagues and your students, probably it depends on the belief. We can see the glass half empty or half full. It is up to you. There is a need for teachers to actually explore and dare to use technology in their teaching context. So there is a need. Definitely there is a need. Teachers won't have any other choice but to use technology and adapt their teaching practices to the ICT inclusion in the classroom. So I love this one. There is no other choice. Technology in education is now a universal language. So definitely our kids in the public school, in the private school, in the big or in the small school, they actually need technology. The real challenge here is how to lead the use of technology through the right path in our context. From an interesting article that I found in Positive Health, probably related to psychology or this kind of personal improvement writers. So they describe what a belief is. And let's say that all of us might start with a belief. I want to learn, I want to have. And it becomes like a potential that is going to give us sources, a potential that is going to give us like the tools and even the motivation to actually act. And let's say that after this motivation and this potential and these kind of actions that we kind of list in a path to follow, we might have a result. Unfortunately, some of these beliefs are negative. So if these beliefs are negative, my students cannot learn the language. Of course, the potential is reduced, the action is reduced, and the result will be negative. So we have to believe, and we have to have positive beliefs. Of course, I know that we might think that we need to change the way that we are doing our teacher, and I would say that with technology, that is exactly what we have to do. We have definitely to change the role that we are having as Mr. Gadget is here. So we are doing a lot of work, changing our labs, changing the way that we conceive teaching in order to be to match with our students' needs. In order to understand this in our context, it's important that we recognize what is happening in Colombia, how technology is seen in Colombia. For public school teachers, maybe it's easier. Sometimes for private school teachers, not that much. But it's important that we actually become acquainted of that. That's why in our model resources, we are reading some documents that come from the Ministry of Education regarding the use of technology, policies in technology, and certain plans that the government have set. So I think that is very important, at least, if not reading them thoroughly, it's important that we actually recognize and have those key ideas. What does the Ministry of Education actually need? So that's why we have this Ser Competente en Tecnología, which is an interesting, or many of those ones that the government has published in several pages. So the question then is, what is the role of language teachers and what's the role of a language resource center if we could set one in our institutions? I love this, that it says that the role of education is one where all the arts, science, crafts, technologies are linked and facilitate mutual cognitive development, productive creativity, and personal growth. I think that that is the reason that you are including technology in your classes, to allow your students to know more, to allow your students to become more creative, and of course to help them grow. Memorizing is not enough. So let's forget that it happened when I was young, but not enough. So technical tools need to serve to the purpose of facilitating cognitive development and at the same time personal growth. Taken from the UNESCO, that it runs like a universal statement on what education should be and of course what the role of technology should be. So I invite you to consider that ICT will create and facilitate open learning environments for learners to get access to knowledge at any time and anywhere. So let's forget about the idea that as teachers are the only ones who can give information to our students. Learners should communicate effectively, and that's why you are worried about teaching skills. They should productively use ICT to increase competitiveness. Teachers must consider a gradual immersion of technology in the curricula. So the question, why ICT in ELT? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to think about 5 good reasons. Here I have some of them: to strengthening a student's critical thinking, to promote self-directed work, active role of students, and responsibility about their decisions. Generally, we don't promote this in our classes. Of course, for motivation. And of course, our main area of study to develop L2 skills and competencies. And beyond that, autonomy, since it is like a principle in which one we believe in the master's program. Therefore, what is a language resource center? Well, ideally, it would be the place in which we can actually motivate students, we can develop skills, we can strengthen critical thinking, and we can develop autonomy. But do you agree with this? What would be a language resource center for you? Well, that's the invitation that I have for you now. Okay, this is it for now, and please keep reading and posting. Bye.